Hello everyone, thank you for being here. How are you? I hope that you're good. Today we're going to be doing my last TBR. There's an airplane. Wait for it to go by. We're going to be doing my last TBR for 2020, which is super exciting. I tried to dress kind of in the style. I wore dark green, not that big of a deal, but I wanted to get like a headband, but I didn't have time to go get it, so it's fine. I'm in the Christmas spirit deep down. I'm very excited. I cannot believe that 2020 is almost over. So hopefully 2021 will be a lot better for all of us, right? I feel like I should discuss my reading habits with you guys because I feel like I haven't done that yet. So I plan my TBRs months in advance. I don't like to mood read. I'm not a mood reader. If I were to mood read, I would really only reread books, or I'd read my most current bought books, which is not a good time for anyone. I want to prioritize my TBR veterans, so I don't like to mood read for the reason that I want to prioritize my older books in my TBR. So with that being said, there is not going to be really any Christmassy books in this TBR this month because I don't like doing that. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope that's still going to be a good video for you guys to listen to, and hopefully you guys are still going to want to hear my opinions about other books. I didn't manage to finish my full TBR for last month, much to no one's surprise, right? So I have like 5 books I still need to talk about, so I will go over the synopsis again for those books because I do have a lot of new people here, so thank you very much for being here and subscribing. So if you don't want to hear the synopsis, if you saw my video last month and you don't want to hear the synopsis, I will leave a timestamp written on the screen so that you can skip to it. But if you want to hear about them, stay tuned. We're going to get right into it. First off, we have Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Berendt. This is a nonfiction true crime book about, or set in Savannah, Georgia. And one night in a very, like, the richest mansion in the entire city, shots were heard and there was no indicator of why it happened or what happened. And this author's basically going through that whole thing with us. So I'm excited about that. I may still be able to finish this month. As you can see, I'm filming on 29th of November. So hopefully maybe I'll be able to finish it, maybe not. So, but I'll let you know my wrap up if I did. But so far, this is on this December TBR. But if I do pull through and read it this month, then it'll be in my wrap up. Charlie Bone and the Blue Boa by Jane Nimmo. This is the 3rd book in the Children of the Red King series, and it is a middle grade series, and it is about kids who are descended from the Red King, so that means all of them have specific abilities. So our main character, Charlie Bone, he can look and touch photographs, and he can be able to listen and see what happened at the time the photograph was taken. So he is recruited to go to an academy called Lore Academy, where every other student, or every other descendant of the Red King, also goes to school with him too. So it's kind of just the 3rd book in the series. We're kind of developing on some certain things, and it's a really, really good middle grade series. I really enjoy it, and I don't know what's gonna happen in this book, but it will be a spoiler either way, so I'm not gonna tell you. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. Old Magic by Marianne Curley. This is a YA fantasy standalone. It's about witches, which, if you know me, you know I love that kind of witchy stuff. So it's about our main characters, Kate and Jared. So Jared is a new kid at the school, and Kate can't help but feel drawn to him in some way, and she doesn't really know why, but until one day when some kids are kind of picking on Jared and he kind of lets a storm loose in the middle of the classroom, she's like, oh, that's why I'm attracted to you, because of the fact that I think that you're a warlock. And he kind of doesn't believe her, but he kind of deals with it because he's like, oh, I still like you and I still want to be with you, but I don't believe in anyway. Until one day he kind of has to believe in her, so they have to go through the whole thing of being witches and warlocks together. So yeah, I'm excited to read that. I love the witchy stuff, so this is nice. Next we have Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. This is a YA contemporary about a girl who, what's her name? Maddie. She's basically allergic to the world, so she's not allowed outside because she has a disease that is very, very rare that makes her allergic to the world. Duh, stupid, right? Until one day her new next door neighbor moves in named Ollie, and she can't help but falling in love with him, but they can't ever see each other or touch each other. So hopefully it's gonna be good. I know that a lot of people were hyped about that book years ago. I never got to read it. Once again, late to the game, right? So it's okay though. We're gonna get to it next month. Next, and this is the last book on my last month's TBR, so this is gonna be Kingdom of Souls by Raina Barron. This is a YA fantasy. This is the first book. I think it's either going to be, a trilogy. I don't think it's going to be a full-on series. But this is the first installment of that. And it's about our main character's name. What's her name? Ara. And she kind comes from a very, very long line of really powerful witch doctors until one day she finds that she doesn't have her powers anymore, or her powers didn't end up developing. So her family ends up going missing, and so do a bunch of children in her kingdom too, so she has to basically trade years off of her life to give her powers so that she can save everyone in her town. And then a bunch of betrayals happen and everything, so it's hopefully gonna be really, really good. I'm so excited to dive into a fresh new YA fantasy series. It's my favorite genre, so hopefully it's gonna be good. Next, for my cat's coming in. Yeah? Come here. Let's get away from the camera. Come here. Okay. No, no, no. Careful. Careful. Okay. We're gonna move on. She may interrupt again, but I don't know. Next we have The Strange and Beautiful Stars by Lavender by Leslie Walton. This is a book about a girl who has wings, and she's kind of descended from a whole family that has wings, and it kind of makes her like an outcast, and it's told in like many different timelines of life. So it goes through Ava's, her grandmother's, and then her mom's, I think, or I have no idea. I know that it's a multiple timeline book, so it goes through her family's past and everything too. And then apparently someone named Nathaniel thinks that she's an angel, so he wants to kind of talk to her more and stuff like that. So I've heard so many good things about this book, and I'm so excited to be part of like that magical realism, like mystical kind of stuff, but also have like real life melded into it. So I'm really, really excited about this book. Next we have Saga Volume 3 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is the third book in the Saga series. This is a graphic novel sci-fi book, so it's really, really cool. It's about two people who are from warring planets, and they have a baby together, and because they are from warring planets, they end up having to be hunted down because it is against law for them to be together, but they kind of are trying to be on the run from them. So this is a really good series. I'm really excited to be in the third book. I'm not even close to being done with it yet, so I'm kind of happy about that, but they're really quick and really easy to read, so I feel like it's going to be a one-day thing for me, so I'm excited about that. Tithe by Holly Black. This is a book about, our main character's name is Kay, and she's a nomad, so she ends up traveling with her mom on, well, her mom's in a rock band, so she ends up having to travel from place to place with her because they're on tour. So when she's in New Jersey, she ends up finding herself in the middle of an ancient power struggle between two rival fae kingdoms. Holly Black. This is one of this came out before Cruel Princess. This is one of her older series, but her fae books are magnificent. I love Cruel Prince so much, so I'm so excited to be reading this. And this is the first book in a trilogy, I think, so I'm starting a new series once again, but it's okay. Angel by James Patterson. This is the seventh book in the Maximum Ride series. I forgot what it was for a second. So I'm almost done with it. I have only like 3 books left, so this has been a long time coming for me. I've been working on this series for like over like 10 years, I'm not even joking, so I'm excited. But Maximum Ride is basically about, the first book is about a group of kids who are half human, half bird, and a lot of bird books this month. Wow. Anyway, so they were captured, and they don't have parents or anything, so they ended up getting their genetics mutated into becoming birds, and they had to run away from the place called the school, which is where they've been held captive and experimented on. So this is kind of the whole continuation from that, and with the way that Fang ended, I need to read this book. Like, it left on such a big cliffhanger, and I need to read it. Like, that book, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I love that series. Like, no joke. Like, guilty pleasure for me totally, so I'm excited about that. Next we have Glass Arrow by Kristen Simmons, and I have no idea what this is about. Let me read it. Let me read it real quick. Okay, so this is about a time in the world where women are kind of treated as property. So they are sold to be either a slave or to be a wife. So the whole point is that you want to be a wife. So our main character's name is Aya, and she lives in the mountains, so she's never had to face the whole laws of how women are treated in this new world until one day she gets stolen, and she has to find a way back to her family before being sold into a different family or to a different man. So I'm excited. I hope this is going to be a really big feminist book. I'm really hoping. As I talk a lot about women's rights and stuff, so hopefully it's going to work out for me. This is a YA fantasy standalone book, which usually doesn't really work out for me, but hopefully I'm still going to enjoy it at the end of the day. So you can only hope, right? Sorry, my cat is meowing. I don't know what her issue is. Next we have An Ocean of Minutes by Thea Lim. This is an adult contemporary book, I think. And once again, I'm going to read the synopsis to actually understand what's going on. It's about a pandemic. I didn't plan this. I didn't even know what it was about. Oh my So it's a flu pandemic too. Maddie, what are you doing? So our main character's name is Polly, and her boyfriend Frank ends up getting the virus. Okay, so she wants to go to the future and going back to the past to stop the virus from being developed and spread. So that's kind of how it is. So this might be a bit scary for me to read. I don't know how this came up for this month, you guys. Like, I didn't even know this book was about, and the fact that it's about a freaking flu pandemic. Bro. Anyway, that's crazy. Whack. Okay. So our last book for this month is Carvalhal by Stephanie Garber, and once again, very, very late to the game for this, I know. This is about, what's our main character's name? Her name is Scarlett, and she lives in a tiny island with her sister, and she is in an arranged marriage. So there's a once-a-year performance near her, or not near her, and it's called the Carvalhal, and she wants to go see it, but she thinks that her new arranged marriage will prevent her from doing so until one day she gets an invitation to go, until she finds herself as a part of the middle of the performance and she has to find a way out. I am so excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good reviews for this book, so I'm so excited to read it. This is the first book in a trilogy. I think it's all finished up too, so once again, very, very late to the game for this, but I am still so excited nonetheless. So yeah, that is it though. That's the 13 books that I want to get to this month. Maybe we won't get to all of them, maybe we'll. I don't really know yet, but hopefully it's going to be a good month. So hope that you guys are having a good one. Hope that you guys are gonna enjoy your last month of the year, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and goodbye.